Welcome back to Become a Calm Mama. I'm Darlene Childress. I'm a life and parenting coach, and I'm the host of this podcast. And I'm back from my 10-week hiatus of recording new episodes. Over the past 10 weeks, you have been listening to a curated list of podcasts from the archives designed to help you stop yelling at your kids. I called that series the Stop Yelling series, and I put together a bunch of podcasts from the archives where you could learn like why you yell, how to stop yelling, and how to repair after you've yelled. If you have not listened to that series, you're welcome to go back at any time and go through and listen to those podcast episodes. Okay, so the reason I had taken a break and a hiatus from recording new episodes is because I've been working on writing a parenting book that's all about raising an emotionally healthy kid using connected parenting. And during the process of writing it, I have realized that the title of my signature process that I have created, I've been calling it for the last, 5-7 years, the Calm Mama process. And while I was writing the book, I recognized that in some ways, this title of Calm Mama process is not fair to moms because it really makes it seem like we're the mom is the person who's supposed to do the parenting and being calm and practicing connected parenting. And meanwhile, what about the father? What about the dad? And I realized that in some ways, by titling my parenting philosophy, the Calm Mama process, I was putting pressure on moms, on women, to be the person who's responsible for parenting. And I was alienating dads in the process. And I realized that I did not want to perpetuate these gender typical roles and continue to propagate putting women in the role of the emotional and mental labor of parenting. That without realizing it, by naming my parenting philosophy and my parenting process something that had the word mom in it, would inherently make it hard for men or dads to connect to the philosophy, and also maybe make it seem like moms are the ones who are supposed to be calm and moms are the ones who are supposed to do this parenting process. And it just seemed too much of a traditional role, and I wasn't comfortable with it. And I'm really glad that I recognized that I was inadvertently, subconsciously perpetuating gender normative roles and traditional roles in a way that I wasn't comfortable with. And I decided to rename the Calm Mama process and call it the Connected Parenting Process, because in many ways, the phrase connected parenting process is more aligned with the actual result of practicing what I called the Calm Mama process. So let me explain really quickly the process and then kind of the switch around with the names. So the Calm Mama process, which is now the Connected Parenting Process, has always been these 4 parts: calm, connect, limit set, correct. And when you practice those 4 pillars, you raise an emotionally healthy kid and you are a connected parent. I've always struggled a little bit with naming it, and because there's not really a great name out there to describe what we're doing here with this parenting philosophy. We know it's not permissive. We know it's not authoritarian. The best language we have is authoritative, but that's kind of a funny thing to be like, I practice authoritative parenting. It doesn't really resonate for most of us. When I thought about what we are actually doing in this parenting philosophy that I teach and that I have developed, is we are practicing connection in order to raise an emotionally healthy kid. So the process, the philosophy is connected parenting. And we do that through the 4 pillars of connected parenting process: calm, connect, limit, set, correct. And when you practice those pillars, the result long-term is you raise an emotionally healthy kid. And I love calling it the connected parenting process because it's accessible for every parent. Doesn't matter if you're a mom or a dad or a step parent or a bonus parent or whatever it is, any parent, grandparent even, can practice connected parenting and do the 4 pillars of the connected parenting process. So when I landed on recognizing that what I am titling my philosophy is connected parenting, that's what this is called that we're doing. I'm going to kind of explain what that is as well in a second. But what we're doing here on this podcast and in any program and any coaching thing that I do, any training I offer, is I am teaching connected parenting. And the goal of that connected parenting is to raise an emotionally healthy kid. The pillars of connected parenting are calm, connect, limit set, correct. So if you've been listening to this podcast for a long time, you're like, oh, that's familiar. I know what that is. I know what calm, connect, limit, set, correct are. That's the 4 basic ingredients of a whole parenting philosophy. Let me break those down real quick for those of you who are kind of new or need a refresher. So calm is connection to self. It's where the parent connects to themselves. So in calm, all the tools and strategies and concepts that I teach under that pillar of calm are all about you as the parent, your emotional health, your ability to self-regulate. And when you are calm, when you are connected to yourself, when you can coach yourself through your big feelings, when you can process your negative emotion, when you can switch your mindset so that you don't get so affected by your kid's behavior, you will be calm. Thinking about calm is really important because the rest of the parenting pillars are hard to access unless you are regulated. So I always start with calm. Even when I start with like a new client or a new family, when I start working with them, I am checking in the beginning of how regulated they are. How activated are they by their child's behavior? So calm is this like foundational part of connected parenting. It's hard to do connected parenting unless you are calm. The second part is connect, which is funny that it's in the title, but connection is really connecting your child to themselves. When I think about emotionally coaching your child, what you're doing is you're teaching your child the connection between what's going on inside of them and how they're acting on the outside. And you're giving them tools to connect how they're behaving to how they're feeling, and then coaching them to self-regulate. So that's a big part of connected parenting that's different from traditional parenting. In traditional parenting, we are focused only on behavior modification. It doesn't matter if the parent is acting out, is aggressive. We're just focused on how you act and consequences. In this model, in a connected parenting model, we're focused on the parent. Are you calm, right? Are you regulated? We're focusing on the inside of our child, the feelings that are underneath the behavior. And we're helping our kids learn to cope with those emotions. So that's the connect piece. And then limit set is really connecting to your children the expectations of being in your family or the boundaries that work within your family. So as a connected parent, you need to have boundaries. You need to communicate those boundaries and you need to hold those boundaries. And you're kind of using boundaries to connect your child to the world, to helping them understand how the world works, giving them clear guidance and parameters in which their behavior is okay to within. So in limit set, I'm teaching you how to set limits. So we have calm, teaching you how to self-regulate. Connect, teaching you how to emotionally coach your kids so they can self-regulate. Limit set, teaching you how to set boundaries, how to communicate effectively with your children so that they are starting to make the connection between the world and themselves. Then we have correct. So calm, connect, limit set, correct. Correct is where you are connecting your child from their behavior to the impact of their behavior. So if they fail, they have to fix it. If they make a mistake, they have to repair that mistake. We're connecting behavior to consequences. It's not necessarily consequences themselves that it's not a behavior modification model. We are trying to connect the dots for our children in a logical, neutral way that when you behave this way, it causes these types of problems. It creates a time problem or an energy problem or a money problem. So you want your children to start to connect the dots between their behavior and the impact of that behavior. So when I thought about the Calm Mama process, and I realized really it's a connected parenting process, and this is the paradigm that I have been teaching for the last almost 20 years, and really helping parents understand that we want to be connected to our kids. We want our kids to be connected to themselves, and we want our kids to be connected to the world and work well within the world. When you have those 4 pillars of the connected parenting process, it means you're raising an emotionally healthy kid who turns into an emotionally healthy adult. Woo-hoo. That's all I have to say. I mean, honestly, it makes me smile so big to think about the philosophy and how amazing it is for our children when they are raised in this model. When you raise your kids in a connected parenting model, they grow up to be emotionally healthy. Like, it's pretty incredible. And having a process when you are worried, like, am I doing it right? Am I messing up my kid? Like, what am I supposed to do here? What I want you to really integrate within yourself is, am I following the connected parenting process? Am I calm? Have I connected or emotionally coached my kid? Have I set a boundary here? Have I allowed my child to fail and help them fix that mistake? If you are hitting those markers, those pillars pretty regularly in your parenting, you can kind of relax, which is really what I want for parents, is to not feel like you're never doing it right, that you're always overwhelmed and that you have so much like to learn and so much to do. And it's like, I want to make it accessible in your mind, simple in your mind, so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming to parent your children in this non-traditional way. So that's why when I thought about Calm Mama process, I realized that it was mislabeled. Like, it's not a great name, because it's like, say I had a Calm Mama process, I would be wanting to teach you like how to be calm. That would be the only thing. Like, the Calm Mama process would be the pause break, right? It would be like, connect with yourself, align with yourself, label your own emotion, and then move your body, right? The Calm Mama process is ultimately the pause break. And if you think about it, you can really kind of say like, it's CALM, like that would be the Calm Mama process, right? Is checking in with yourself when you notice that you're dysregulated, align back with your parenting goals, which is like being calm, being connected, labeling your own emotion, like I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling stressed, and then moving your body, managing your emotion in a healthy way. That is the Calm Mama process ultimately. But it doesn't, just the phrase Calm Mama process does not really show you all the other parts of the parenting philosophy. So renaming it Connected Parenting Process will help you remember what you're doing here. Why are you parenting this way? What's the purpose? And it is in order to connect with your child, connect your child within themselves, and connect your child to the world. We're not focused only on behavior, and we're not focused only on emotions. This isn't a feelings only or a behavior only model, right? This is a combined model where it's not permissive, where it's just, oh, you feel sad, okay, don't clean up your room. That would be a permissive model. It's not a traditional model where it's like, you didn't clean up your room, so you're not going to your friend's house. It's more of an integrated, connected model where it's like, it makes sense that you don't feel up to, cleaning your room. Like, I get it. I understand. And the limit is, in this family, you can go do stuff with your friends once your room is clean. And I trust that you can take care of business. That is a connected model. right? It's not overly permissive. It's not overly authoritarian. You are considering emotion, no, but not catering to emotion. We're not just giving in or giving up because our child has a big feeling. Absolutely not. We are helping them regulate that emotion and having a boundary that's firm so that they can kind of become resilient and emotionally healthy when they are experiencing hardship, right? And hardship for a kid is cleaning up their room or doing their homework or, stopping playing a game or watching a show in order to go to the grocery store with you. Like, that's their version of hardship. We can have compassion for their emotion, but their emotion doesn't excuse them from, behaving in the way and acting the way that works best for you, for the family, for the community. So thinking about, what are we doing here? What are we all about? We're all about connected parenting. The other thing I love about changing the name, like I said in the beginning, is that I don't want to be part of anything that makes it feel like parenting should just be on the woman, that it should just be on the mother. I don't want to perpetuate gender normative roles. I don't want to even subconsciously put out in the world that parenting is dependent on you as the mother being calm. And it's funny because this podcast is called Become a Calm Mama. And I'm not inclined to change the name of the podcast. I feel that what we are doing here and who typically listens to this podcast is moms who find it and listen to it and feel attracted to the concepts. And everyone's like, yeah, I want to be calm. And like, I love talking to moms. I love spending time thinking about you and your life and your challenges and the beauty of being a mom and the hardships of being a mom. Like, I'm in it. I'm on your team. I'm on your side. And in that, I don't want to put any pressure on you that this process, that this parenting philosophy is mom dependent. Also, I really want men and dads to feel included in parenting. And I don't want to do anything that alienates parents. Like, I've noticed when I coach dads, which I do all the time, I've loved watching over the last few years how many couples I coach where it's two moms or, a mom and a dad, and that it's couples coaching and it's really cool. But then when I say to a man who doesn't identify as a mom, I'm like, oh, this is the calm mama process. I can feel that there's a disconnect for that person. And I don't want to be about that because I want them to have access to this parenting philosophy just like anybody else. So all that to say is, moving forward on the podcast, I will refer to the connected parenting process. And I'm talking about calm, connect, limit, set, correct. And it is like the calm mama process, that phrase is retired. And I actually think it was quite tired. I was tired of it, and I'm tired of putting pressure on moms, and I'm tired of being part of anything that just kind of makes it be like it's your responsibility because you're the mom that you have to parent your kid. Like, I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I'm done. I want to really talk about parenting in a more holistic way and include men and dads in this philosophy. So it's been such a delight to write this book. It's been way harder than I thought it was going to be. In my mind, I'd written the book many times because I've taught these concepts on the podcast. I've done courses. I have written handbooks. Like, there is a lot of content that I've created that all connects to the concepts. But sitting down and writing one narrative and one book, it's been challenging for my brain. I've enjoyed it so much. It's really pushed me intellectually. It's pushed me as a coach. While I'm coaching my current client roster, I'm just thinking, like, how am I explaining this? Is this succinct enough? Is this accessible? I'm hearing their their challenges and their obstacles. And I'm like, oh, I got to include that in the book. Like that would be so good. So I know that when you get your hands on this book, which who knows, maybe it'll be by the end of 2026, I'm hoping. But when you get your hands on it, I want you to feel like you do have a handbook for parenting, that you do have a roadmap, that you have a plan, and that your partner is also able to connect to the processes that I teach and the philosophies and feel aligned in them. So I'm excited about the book, and I know that over the next few episodes, I'm probably going to reintroduce new concepts and flesh them out a little bit, because as I'm writing them, I'm realizing like, oh, this needs to be fine-tuned. This needs to be explained better. This needs to be more succinct and, whatever. So I'm excited to share that with you. Also on the podcast, for those of you who are regular listeners, there will be more interviews over the next few months, because I've just found it very interesting to bring on experts to talk about topics that I know about and I've taught on the podcast, but maybe hearing from someone else or just my conversation with that person might open up something new for you. So I'm going to mix those in. I have been mixing them in all throughout the podcast, but you're going to see more of that. You're going to see, a couple episodes of me and then an episode of an interview. And it's going to be a little bit more flowy like that. So I hope you like that. Please let me know. If you hate interviews, tell me that. If you love interviews, tell me that. If you have any particular topic that you want me to talk about, I am happy to talk about that. I'm having an episode coming out called Snack Monster. So kind of getting into some brass tacks about parenting, like how to deal with snacks, how to deal with sneaky food and things like that. So that'll be a fun episode. I have different ones planned, but if you want to hear about something, let me know and I will put that into the rotation. Okay. Thanks for waiting for me for the last 10 episodes, 10 weeks while I've been in this hiatus, and we should be back in action with brand new content every week. So thanks for listening. I hope you have a great week, and I am excited for you to integrate the connected parenting process. Calm, connect, limit, set, correct. Same process, new name. And if any questions, comments, anything like that, please connect with me, and I'd love to hear from you. You can connect with me on Instagram. You can reply to my emails if you're on my newsletter, anything like that. All right, mamas, I will talk to you next week. Hey, mama, if you enjoyed this podcast episode, I want to encourage you to do two things. The first is go to my website, calmmamacoaching.com, and get a copy of the Stop Yelling cheat sheet. You'll get a step-by-step breakdown of the most important tool I teach, which is the pause break. And you'll also get 40 ideas to reset your body and balance your nervous system so you don't have to yell at your kids. You can get a copy of that, again, at my website, calmmamacoaching.com/stop yelling. The other thing I'd love for you to do is go to Apple Podcasts and rate and review this podcast so that other moms can discover empowering and helpful, practical parenting strategies just like you did today. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. It means a lot to be in your ear every week and to support you on your parenting journey.